Coming up on the season premiere of football tonight, the Central Indians coming off a 7-3 season a year ago. Can they build off that success as the new head coach takes over the program? While the North Platte Panthers, fresh off a state championship appearance, trying to keep their place toward the top of Class 1 and an 8-man football. It's a top 5 matchup to start off the season up in Barnard. Number 4 Platte Valley hosting state runner-up number 2 Worth County. These games and much more coming up next on Football Tonight.
Legacy of Football Tonight and what made that show and still makes that show unique to this day. You go to 15 to 18 games in 15 to 18 communities.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Football Tonight. We got an exciting show for you.
We were innovators, and I'm glad we're still running with the ball some 35 years later. It's very cool.
Football Tonight's a really special part of the fall for me just because I grew up in Union Star and you get home on a Friday night and you turn it on.
Well, one of the great things that high school football brings out are the rivalries. Towns get behind their teams, schools trading wins each season.
This show, really at this level in the small market television, set the tone.
KQ2, that's our hometown station!
Football Tonight starts now.
Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time, who can't fight, it's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. To a monster.
And with that, welcome into the season premiere of Football Tonight, season 35 of this great show. We're so happy to have you again with us this year. Chris Roush, Brett Kennedy, Anthony Crane will be with us in just a little while. Brett, what a show we have for them tonight.
Just listening to that intro, I got goosebumps right now. I can't believe football season is back. We've done this, 35 years here at KQ2. This is your 9th year. This is Chris Roush's 9th year.
That makes you feel very old.
Sorry to put you on the spot there, but I'm excited to get it going. This is my 2nd year of doing Football Tonight, and it's going to be a great year. I can't wait for it.
It'll be a great year, great week 1, a lot of good games to get to. We start off right here in town, down the road at Noyes Field, as Central coming off a 7-3 season, looking for more in 2024. The future Vanderbilt running back Gabe Fields and Central taking on Winnetonka, who we just found out today is in the Class 5 district with the Indians. First quarter, no score. Gabe Fields running and turning his way through and finding his way forward. Later in the drive, under 6 to go, the first 4th down and goal. Fields again this time, scooches his way in for 6. Central jumps out early. Sheldon Farrell's crew playing well in this one. Winnetonka's drive keeps an eye on this kid too. LaDainian Morris, sophomore running linebacker, blows up the play in the backfield. Winnetonka punts, but Whitlaw for a quick pass to Monte Henderson. The Griffins defender Ethan Schultz knocks the ball loose, goes the other way for 6. PAT good, tied up at 7. Michael Vasquez, you've got a fan club. Ensuing kickoff, Griffins angle it right to Fields. Just watch him turn on the Jets, busting through, angling to the sideline, outruns the defenders, and he will score. Central back up in front, leads 28-13 at the half. Central grabbing win number 1. They win 45-19.
Let's switch to
Benton, the Cardinals versus Northeast Kansas City. First time the student section gets to cheer on the Cardinals. Starting things off, Boston Cook heaves one up to DeAndre Howard, wide open down the field. Big gain that would get negated though, illegal man downfield. Benton would get it together on this drive. Jackson Rich goes untouched for the touchdown for Benton. Northeast Kansas City head coach trying to get his team back in the game, and his team would respond. They take the kickoff back 76 yards right up the middle to the house. Now it would be the Cardinals' turn to respond, and why not go back to Jackson Rich, the big quarterback, as he follows his blockers and goes untouched once again for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Cardinals win big time, 62-12.
All right, let's go to the north side. Lafayette hosting Center. Irish up 14-0 just before the end of the first half. Center looking to score at the 16. Israel Jonigan takes a snap, runs to his right, but he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage as time expires in the half. Good defensive stand there by the Fighting Irish. Irish, here we go in the second half. Center, though, with the ball again. Jonigan out of the gun. Bad snap, gets the ball, but not able to pick it up. The Irish recover. It's a turnover. Lafayette moving down the field. Holcomb in the gun. Low snap. Defender rushing, but Holcomb gets it out of his hands to Hayden Hardy. Hardy bounces back to the middle of the field. Better than his dad ever looked. He's got room to run. He will go all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. Point after good. Irish lead 21-0. They go on to win the shutout 34-0.
In a non-conference game down in Wardsville, Blair Oaks beating the Maryville Spoofhounds. 61-12 to open the regular season. Hounds are back home next week against Pleasant Hill. That will be a good game.
Heading up to Savannah for the first home game on the new field. Savannah welcoming in Pleasant Hill for this one. Savannah's possession, Maddox Shoup out of the gun. Hands off to Jackson Seegers, runs up the middle, hit hard. Ooh, what a takedown. Nice wrap up there. Then Shoup hands off to Jaden Martinez. He picks up a few yards before being brought down. Good defensive battle here in this one. Pleasant Hill taking over, and it's a packed house in Savannah tonight, always is. Sawyer Rich Creek hands off to Garrison Hartzell. He runs around the outside, barrels forward for a big gain. A few plays later, Hartzell gets in to the end zone for the first score. They win this one 14-12.
Other scores from around the Midland Empire Conference. Chillicothe hosting Marshall. The Hornets with the shutout 40-6, while St. Pius taking on Class 6 Rockhurst. Warriors fall 24-12. Over in Cameron, the Dragons are hosting the Oak Grove Panthers. In the second half, game tied at 6-all. Panthers quarterback rolls out to his right, dumps it off to Logan Pittman, makes a big guy miss and rumbles down the field before being brought down for a big gain. Dragons defense gaining momentum as sophomore Chase Bell blows up another run for a huge loss. Fourth down now. Panthers are gonna go for it with the quarterback sneak, but Cameron's Brennan Stevie comes up to force the big turnover there on downs for the Dragons. Dragons hoping to break the tie, get their offense rolling. First play of the drive, senior Jacob Vanderslice slices through the defense, massive hole, huge gain before finally getting shot down. A few plays later, Vanderslice again breaks off a huge run, but Oak Grove wins a close one tonight, 19-18.
We'll still ahead here on football tonight. We will head over to the land of 8-man football. The St. Joseph Christian Lions start their season on the road against the DeKalb Tigers.
While in Dearborn, North Platte Panthers trying to start their season off with a win. Stay tuned. You are watching Football Tonight.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me.
The North Platte football team is coming off its best season since 1998. Panthers made it to the Class 1 state championship last season, looking to try to make it back tonight. The team hosted Butler this evening to kick off the season. Beautiful sunset in Dearborn. North Platte wearing MS stickers on their helmets this season, as you can see right there, to honor alum and former football player Matt Snook, who passed away from cancer a few weeks ago. His son Weston Snook is now the Panthers starting quarterback this season. Watch this play. Snook goes deep, and it somehow gets tipped up and caught by Brendan Matt right before halftime. Panthers in business for Jared Quigley's bunch, trying to get into the end zone before halftime. Snook drops back though, and he is going to be picked off by number 3, Lucas Davidson for Butler, and he is going to take it back about 90 yards for a pick 6 to put Butler up 28-6 at that point, but they bleed purple and gold in North Platte, and they never say die in this one. Look at the fog rolling in. It's the big junior Dylan Armstrong, the big man, plowing his way into the end zone for the Panthers' second touchdown of the game, but Butler would just be too much. They would get the win by 10 on the road. 30-20 is your final.
Or other games around the KCI. Mid Buchanan tonight winning 33-12. Head coach Aaron Fritz getting his 75th career win tonight in that one. East Buchanan not playing tonight because they play tomorrow down in Kansas City when they take on Central KC on the road. Kick off a new highlights from that game tomorrow night on KQC News at 10.
From North Platte to West Platte. West Platte hosting Polo in Weston. The Panthers beat the Blue Jays 29-0 last year to start the season. Not a lot of offense in this one in the first quarter, but there was some defense. Maverick Gentry goes deep. His pass is deflected and intercepted by junior Joe Blake. And little number 3, a nice run back as well, following his blockers. Tackled really hard at the end of the play. A little bit of chippiness afterwards as well. It was hot out tonight. Even new coach Taylor Gallagher had to get some water on the Blue Jays sideline. West Platte finally got in the end zone midway through the second quarter. Kane Cogan rolls out wide open. Blaze Masoner for 6. The sophomore score makes it 7-0 West Platte. You think you can beat us? That's fantasy football, says the Blue Jays fans. Polo says, you think so, huh? How about this? Maverick Gentry, talk to me, Goose. Gage Gilbert, who hauls it in, runs away from everybody. The long touchdown. That would make it 7-6 after the missed PAT, but the Blue Jays said wave goodbye to that short-lived success, Polo, because West Platte gets revenge from a couple last seasons over the Panthers. They get the win 35-26, first win in the Taylor Gallagher era. West Platte plays on Saturday next week, hosting Liberty from Mountain View.
All right, other KCI teams in action tonight. Lathrop hosting Lexington here in week number 1. Mules winning 27-21, while the Austin Cardinals welcoming Warsaw up to town, but Warsaw gets the win 33-0.
Over in Hamilton tonight, the Hornets hosting Lafayette County to open up the season. Tough sledding for them tonight as Lafayette County wins big, 45-6.
Plenty more football tonight to get to on this show. Of course, here in town, the Bishop of Long Golden Eagles trying to make their climb back up the 8-man football mountain.
While the Maysville Wolverines open up their 2024 season with a Grand River Conference matchup. Stay tuned. You're watching Football Tonight right here on KQ2.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, and they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. Coming in clutch, no hang time, and they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm dead.
Welcome back into football tonight. Chris Roush, Brett Kennedy with you, and Brett, we're rolling on. Still an 11-man football for now, 8-man football still to come. But Grand River Conference football, some teams with some new identities this year.
Yeah, new identities and new head coaches. Maysville has a Travius Addison coming in, coming over from Kansas, a high school in Kansas. And then you got Gallatin coming off a rough season with Brock Goodman trying to figure things out. These two teams met last year, earlier on in the season, and Gallatin got the better of Maysville. So we'll see what happens.
So let's see who takes home the win tonight. Let's go out to Maysville. It's the Wolverines and the Bulldogs. First drive of the game, Bulldogs trying to convert 4th down. Quarterback Jackson Holbert finds Brody Birch, spins off would-be tacklers. He moves the chains. Very next play, Bulldogs just give it to Bird. Finds Pater. Bulldogs up 7-0 early with the PAT. After a massive kick return, Wolverines run the jet sweep to Braden Watkins. Pick up big yards for getting popped at the end. Later in the drive, Wolverines trying to convert their own 4th down. This short pass to Dylan Willis, but it comes up short. Bulldogs get the ball back. Wolverines hoping the defense get the ball back quickly. The defense answers. Braden Walker goes up and picks off the pass, weaves its way through defenders, taking it all the way back for a pick 6. Gallatin, though, hold on to win this one 30-27.
Other GRC games, South Harrison hosting Milan, while the Trenton Bulldogs falling to Brookville 35-14.
Well, it's a battle of two of the top 5 8-man football programs coming into the season. Still have Platte Valley hosting number 2 ranked Worth County Tigers, and a good one tonight.
And up next, a new era for the St. Joseph Christian Lions, new head coach and a new season. Highlights from Lions and their matchup with DeKalb.
No hang time, and they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall. Coming in clutch, no hang time, and they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me.
Into football tonight, Chris Roush, Brett Kennedy, and it's a new era over at St. Joseph Christian.
It is indeed. The Lions with a new head coach this fall, James Schoonover, a former Mound City Panther, all-state football player, taking over a program of his own now. And in week 1, the Lions start on the road. Let's show some 8-man football, a little bit of love now as DeKalb took on St. Joseph Christian. The Lions would get the scoring started. Peyton Hausman goes in for the 1-yard rushing touchdown to give the Lions the early lead. DeKalb's head coach, Caleb Wardlow, trying to settle his team and get back in on track. Quarterback Luke Miller running the triple option action. He hands off to Hayden Black for a short gain. Miller would later finish that drive with a run-yard rushing touchdown. St. Joseph Christian head coach, there he is, James Schoonover, looking things over for the Lions. His team would respond by keeping it on the ground. Cy Carlson rushes past the defense for another 1-yard touchdown. Lions win this one by the final score of 68-8. Albany winning 66-6 over Stewartsville Osborne this evening, while East Atchison gets the win over King City 58-24 for some other area 8-man scores.
Top 10 showdown here in town. Number 8 Bishop LeBlanc taking on number 10 North Shelby. LB up 14-8 in the second quarter and driving 4th down. Cooper Tabor to Trey Ike, who picks up the 1st down. Later in the drive, Tabor hands off. Carson Staggs takes the handoff, waits for the hole to open up. He goes in for 6. LeBlanc up 20-8 in the second quarter. Chuck Davis says, "Fly, Eagles, fly," and finger guns to you two, bud. North Shelby trying to move the football, but All-State defensive end Jacob Winkelbauer blows up the play in the backfield. Golden Eagles get the ball back with around 2 minutes to go in the half, and Tabor was right. Someone call Scott Stapp because Cole Segrist has his arms wide open. That reference goes over all the kids' heads. Touchdown LeBlanc, 28-8 at the break. They win this one 56-30.
Showing your age again, Chris.
Thank
Other
you.
8-man football contest tonight. Nottoway Valley starting the season 1-0 with a 42-16 win over North Andrew, while the Rockport Blue Jays outlast Pattonsburg in a shootout 62-60. Still ahead on football tonight, the South Holt Knights trying to pick up a win as they welcome in Princeton this evening for a non-conference showdown. Highlights still to come.
And will it be number 2 Worth County, number 4 Platte Valley taking home the win in week number 1? Highlights coming up next on Football Tonight.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm dead.
Welcome back to Football Tonight right here on KQ2. Chris Roush, Brett Kennedy being joined now by Anthony Crane, who has our 8-man football game of the week. Anthony, what a game it was.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. The Worth County Tigers meeting up with Platte Valley for the 4th time since November of 2022. Platte Valley looking to even the series at 2 wins each. Early first quarter, We'll get to the early first quarter. Sophomore Hayden Sanders rolls to the right. But Landon Wiederholt gets the sack and the scoop. Platte Valley taking over after the fumble.
Let's move on to Oregon, Missouri. South Holt Knights opening their season at home against the Princeton Tigers tonight. Princeton marches down the field after getting back the ball on downs. Mitchell Walker fighting his way through the Knights for a 6-0 lead. South Holt band jazzing up their squad this evening. Later in the first, score is 7-6 South Holt. The man, Cole Metzger, he scored a lot of touchdowns tonight, fighting through a wall of Tigers. He's gone, 65-yard touchdown for the home team, and the home team pulls away. The Knights get the big win, 69-32.
And joining me now is the head football coach of Platte Valley, Johnny Silkett. Coach, thanks for the time. My wife, getting a bit jealous of all the time we're spending together this week. How are you feeling after the big win tonight?
Well, definitely tired. It was a slugfest over there at Barnard for sure. I think Adwell's crew definitely put the extra boxing gloves on, and so did we. So we stood toe to toe and turned back time to about 1971, and had ourselves a slugfest. That's for sure.
Yeah, Coach, and we don't have a whole lot of time, but you and I were talking just a little bit earlier about your defense, specifically the defensive line. Talk about them for a few seconds while we got you here.
Absolutely, yeah. Our defensive line is a senior-laden group that has been together for the last 2 years, and they just they came in, they knew exactly what they had to do tonight to give us a chance to win, and they played with great technique and great motivation and great desire, and I'm very proud of those boys.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you joining us for just a few moments. I'll let you get some rest, and we'll talk again soon.
I need some rest, that's for sure.
Have a good night, Coach.
You bet. Bye.
All right, thank you, Anthony, and thank you, Coach Sutka, for joining us. And we just have a few seconds before we're getting out of here. Brett, first your final thoughts, then we'll go to Anthony here real quick after that.
There were some really good matchups for week one. You'd think there'd be a lot of blowouts, but there were some close contests tonight and a lot of excitement. And just, again, I'm excited football's back.
Anthony, we'll throw it back over to you real quick. Your final thoughts here on week number one.
Yeah, I was shocked at the defense I saw tonight, and kind of around the state, the offenses were a little bit low scoring, aside from your Rockport and Pattonsburg teams. But a fun week one, beautiful night, and glad football's back.
Well, that'll wrap things up for us here on Football Tonight. Week number one in the books. What a week it was. Benton getting a win, Central getting a win, Lafayette, LeBlanc, St. Joe Christian, City going 5-0 for week number one. Me Buchanan getting the win as well. The county overall doing pretty well in this one. We'll be back here next Friday night, 10:35 for week number two of Football Tonight.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, and they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be